Welcome back to Exposure Stories. Jim Kelly's life story is one of Hollywood's greatest untold legends, a journey filled with triumph, struggle, dignity, and quiet rebellion. He was the man with the proud afro who stood beside Bruce Lee in one of the most influential martial arts films ever made and became an international icon almost overnight. In the 1970s, when Hollywood offered very few meaningful opportunities to black actors, Jim Kelly emerged as a symbol of confidence, strength, and freedom. He represented a new kind of hero, one who refused to apologize for who he was. Yet, despite his remarkable success, he disappeared from the movie industry just a few years after reaching the top. There were no scandals, no public meltdowns, and no dramatic farewell. He simply walked away, leaving generations of fans wondering what had happened to one of the coolest stars of his era. James Milton Kelly was born on May 5, 1946, in Paris, Kentucky, a small town in the American South during the era of racial segregation. The world he entered was deeply divided by race, and opportunities for African Americans were limited by prejudice and discrimination. Growing up, Kelly often experienced racism firsthand. He was mocked by classmates and treated differently simply because of the color of his skin. Instead of allowing these experiences to break his spirit, he became determined to build both his body and his character. Athletics became his refuge and his weapon against a world that constantly tried to place limits on him. At Bourbon County High School, Kelly proved himself to be an extraordinary athlete. He excelled in football, basketball, track, and tennis, earning admiration from teachers and fellow students. His impressive achievements earned him an athletic scholarship to the University of Louisville, a significant accomplishment for a young black man in the 1960s. However, college became the setting for one of the most painful moments of his life. During football practice, Kelly witnessed racist remarks and discriminatory behavior from a coach. The incident deeply affected him and shattered his belief that talent and hard work alone could overcome prejudice. Feeling betrayed and unwelcome, he made the difficult decision to leave the university without saying goodbye. After leaving college, Kelly found himself searching for a new purpose. That search eventually led him to karate. He entered a local dojo and immediately discovered something he had never truly experienced before, a place where respect was earned through discipline and effort rather than race or social status. Martial arts became more than a hobby. It became a philosophy and a way of life. Kelly trained relentlessly in Shorin-ryu karate, spending countless hours perfecting his techniques. The discipline of karate restored his confidence and gave him a sense of identity that society had often denied him. His dedication soon produced remarkable results. In 1971, Jim Kelly competed at the prestigious Long Beach International Karate Championships. The tournament featured many of the finest martial artists in the country, and Kelly stood out not only because of his skill but also because he was one of the few black competitors. Displaying extraordinary speed, power, and composure, he won the middleweight division and became a national champion. The victory transformed him from a talented athlete into one of America's most respected martial artists. Following his championship win, Kelly moved to California and opened his own karate school. His reputation continued to grow, attracting students from various backgrounds, including celebrities and actors. His striking appearance, natural charisma, and calm confidence made him impossible to ignore. It was only a matter of time before Hollywood took notice. That opportunity arrived in 1973 during the production of Enter the Dragon, the film that would become Bruce Lee's masterpiece. The producers needed a replacement for a supporting role and wanted someone with genuine martial arts skills and a commanding presence. Jim Kelly auditioned and immediately impressed everyone involved. Bruce Lee himself reportedly recognized Kelly's authenticity and approved his casting. In the film, Kelly played Williams, a proud and fearless martial artist who refused to bow to anyone. When Enter the Dragon premiered, it became a global sensation. While Bruce Lee was unquestionably the film's central star, Jim Kelly's performance captivated audiences around the world. His confidence, stylish appearance, and memorable dialogue made him an instant fan favorite. For many African American viewers, his character represented something revolutionary. At a time when black actors were often limited to stereotypes, Williams stood as a symbol of strength and self-respect. Hollywood quickly attempted to capitalize on his popularity. Over the next several years, Kelly starred in films such as Black Belt Jones, 3 the Hard Way, Black Samurai, Hot Potato, and Death Dimension. These films established him as one of the leading faces of the blaxploitation era and one of the first black martial arts superstars in cinematic history. He was admired not only for his fighting abilities but also for his cool, effortless style. His afro, athletic build, and confident smile became iconic images of 1970s popular culture. Despite his success, Kelly often found himself trapped by Hollywood's limitations. The media repeatedly described him as the Black Bruce Lee, a label he disliked because it suggested that his identity depended on someone else's legacy. Although he deeply respected Bruce Lee and considered him a friend, Kelly wanted to be recognized for his own accomplishments. He once explained that he never wanted to be anyone's replacement or imitation. He simply wanted to be Jim Kelly. As the 1970s progressed, the film industry began to change. The popularity of blaxploitation movies declined, and studios shifted their attention toward different types of action heroes. White stars such as Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger began dominating the genre, while opportunities for black actors became increasingly limited. The roles offered to Kelly were repetitive and stereotypical. Producers wanted him to play the same tough black fighter repeatedly without giving him meaningful or complex characters. Kelly refused to accept roles that he believed insulted his dignity. He openly rejected scripts that portrayed black characters as one-dimensional stereotypes or sidekicks. His refusal to compromise earned him a reputation for being difficult to work with. In Hollywood, this label could be devastating, especially for an actor who challenged the industry's expectations. Gradually, offers became less frequent, and by the end of the decade his film career had nearly disappeared. Rather than desperately chasing fame, Jim Kelly made an extraordinary decision. He quietly stepped away from Hollywood and built a completely different life. Tennis, a sport he had loved since childhood, became his new passion. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, he competed on the senior tennis circuit and achieved impressive rankings in California. He taught lessons, coached young players, and embraced a simple, disciplined lifestyle. Many people who encountered him on the tennis court had no idea that he had once been an international movie star. Kelly rarely discussed his Hollywood years and never sought attention or sympathy. Friends described him as humble, focused, and remarkably content. He woke up early, exercised regularly, and continued living according to the principles that had guided him throughout his life. His personal life remained equally private. He married Marcia Bentley in 1980, and the couple spent more than 3 decades together. They raised a daughter and enjoyed a peaceful life away from the entertainment industry. Kelly intentionally protected his family from publicity because he believed that some parts of life should remain sacred and untouched by fame. In the early 2010s, Kelly was diagnosed with cancer. True to his character, he chose to keep his illness private and fought the disease quietly. On June 29, 2013, he passed away at his home in California at the age of 67. News of his death shocked fans around the world. Many people had assumed he was still living quietly somewhere, teaching tennis and enjoying retirement. Tributes quickly poured in from fellow actors, martial artists, and admirers. They remembered him not only as an actor but as a pioneer who had broken barriers and inspired future generations. Jim Kelly's legacy extends far beyond his films. He proved that a black actor could be strong, intelligent, and heroic at a time when Hollywood struggled to imagine such possibilities. His story is ultimately one of self-respect and independence. He never allowed fame to define him, and he never sacrificed his principles for success. When Hollywood could no longer offer him meaningful opportunities, he chose to walk away with dignity rather than become something he was not. He lived life on his own terms and left behind an example of courage, discipline, and authenticity. Today, every confident black action hero who stands proudly on screen owes a small debt to the path Jim Kelly helped create. He may not receive the same recognition as some of his contemporaries, but his influence remains undeniable. Jim Kelly did not need endless applause or grand monuments to prove his worth. His life itself became a testament to resilience and pride, and his quiet exit from the spotlight became his final act of strength. He remains a legend not because he sought fame, but because he refused to let the world tell him who he should be. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.